Unit 6, Biomechanics, 6.2, Technical Model. A technical model is a model used in sport to help assess sporting performance, to help analyse and look at the quality of a skill. The main way in which we would determine a technical model is by the way in which it explains a technique which is descriptive rather than numerical. For example, in rugby, the perfect model is how the perfect pass is conducted and broken down into different components, rather than how many of the perfect pass is conducted. Notational analysis is another performance analysis technique. It uses quantitative data, which uses numbers, whereas the technical model is about the quality of the data and is descriptive. It looks at how well you perform and how skills are broken down. To determine the perfect technical model, you can watch elite performers, for example, in this case, basketball player, read literature, which you might be given to you when partaking in a coaching course. You might have a subjective view as to what you think is right, whereas notational analysis is very objective, meaning right or wrong. Technical model can be broken down into 3 sections: preparation, execution, and recovery. The preparation phase is how the body moves into position to execute the skill. The execution phase is the movement needed to perform the main section of the skill. And the recovery phase looks at getting back into the beginning position and regaining your balance and concentration, getting back into the correct mindset after performing the set skill. For example, in a volleyball pass during a match, the preparation phase is all about judging the speed and movement of the ball, then moving into the correct position on the court or knowing when to leave it for other players, then getting behind the ball into the correct stance, which involves fingers spread placed at the forehead, knees bent and feet apart. The execution phase is when coming into contact with the ball, involving straightening of the legs and extension of the arms to gain contact, using the power to push the ball up and forward using the fingertips. The final stage is the recovery phase. This is the follow-through section with the arms forward and also transferring the weight forward, reacting quick and moving around the court and into the ready position so that you're ready for your next shot. Technical analysis can be collected through a range of software which enables you to analyse performance. It helps you to show the form and shape in relation to the perfect model and break it down, as well as slow the video data. This could be done using apps such as Slow-Mo and Coach's Eye. Filming and watching back performance enables you to see both advantages and disadvantages of the techniques being performed. Different angles of filming also enables you to get a more detailed picture and easier to see what's going wrong to improve, as well as allowing you to watch elite performance in more detail, enabling you to imitate their performance easier, giving you different views so that you're able to copy. Visual feedback is also a way of looking at your performance. The end outcome is to see what you're doing and what you should be doing and adapting to that. Boxing out and rebound. Boxing out is a technique used to prevent the opponent team from getting possession of the rebound, holding the player back to give you an advantage to get the ball after a missed shot. This can be very effective for shorter basketball players so they can box out and rebound against taller players. So here is a professional performing a box out. And here's a less experienced basketball player, Duncan, performing his box out. So this can be broken down into 3 phases: preparation, execution and recovery. Preparation. Start by facing your opponent, being goal side so that you're able to find the ball. You have your arms and elbows out and turning on your toes to make contact with the opponent so they are less likely to lose your player. You have a wide low stance to help with balance and more stability to prevent being pushed. Execution. Arms are out sideways, backwards, forming a backwards V shape. This is to help block the opponent shuffling sideways to prevent the opponent getting past. During this phase, location of the ball is key so that you're able to anticipate where the ball will go. Move into space in front of your player, yet force them to stay behind you and follow. Jump straight, extending the arms and explosive to gain possession of the ball. Bring the ball to chin level for security. Having the ball lower enable guard players easy access to come in and perform a steal. Recovery. This phase involves action taken after catching the ball. To protect the ball, having elbows out to help keep opponents from stealing. Pivot away from the defender and pass the ball out towards the wings to remove the play and pressure from the key area, remembering to look for possible passes on the way down from the jump. So we're now going to look at the 3 stages in a bit more detail. So preparation. Here it is shown a professional basketball player conducting the preparation stage. This is what is considered right, as well as a less experienced player, Duncan, trying to perform the phases as similar as possible to the professional. Comparing their technique, you can see that Duncan is able to get in a low, wide stance and gain contact with his player so that he can focus on finding the ball rather than watching where the player is going. And from the 2 images, you can see that their positioning is quite similar. However, when Duncan sees the ball coming, he leaves his opponent's side to go and get the ball, which, if in a competitive game, might mean that the opponent can get in a better position in front and steal the ball. However, what the professional does is to stay close to the player until the ball is at a high point so he can jump and get it. So here's the video. So now he's left his player. The next phase is the execution phase. You can see from the professional that when forming a V-like shape around the opponent, it needs to be tight with both arms touching so that you narrow the opponent's player and you can feel if they move or shuffle away. From the photo of Duncan performing this phase, you can also see that he is able to do this. He is in a wide low stance with both arms touching his opponent's sides, looking at the ball, at the net. However, during this phase, the location of the ball is vital. As you can see from the photo of the professional, he is following the ball from when the player who takes the shot all the way until he's got the ball. Duncan is completing the box out, and once in the V shape and the ball is at the basket, is able to locate the ball. However, beforehand starts facing the wrong way, making it harder to locate the ball. This is due to the fact his natural eye line is the wrong way, shown by the arrow. If he had been facing the other way, he would be able to locate the ball from the shot all the way until in the V-like shape. Once the ball is located, you can see from the photo of the professional, he jumps up high looking around for passes to make. Duncan does not jump, meaning that in a competitive game the opponent might jump and be able to get the ball before him. If you look here at the video, he just steps forwards and then passes. The final phase is recovery. You can see from the photo of the professional that the ball is kept tight and close to the body, and they know where they are going to be passing. They have turned away from the opponent and have made a simple sharp pass out of the key. You can see from the video that Duncan has made a pass, however, crosses the opponent and has turned towards him, meaning that they could intercept and steal the ball with ease. This could be down to feeling pressure due to the fact he did not look around when in the air to see where he could pass, and therefore has made a quick pass without thinking. Just looking at the video now. So he's got the ball and has passed across the opponent. There are many advantages and disadvantages of using technical analysis. It enables athletes to improve their performance as well as they are able to visually and clearly see what they are good at as well as what needs improving. However, it can be hard to change their performance technique, which is wrong, that they have been doing for ages due to muscle memory, and therefore need to try and retrain and learn the new correct technique. But once this is achieved, their performance will be enhanced. Athletes are able to compare their technique to elite performance, to work out what they need to change about their performance to become better. Technical analysis can be hard to do for team sports and easier for individual sports. This is because you'll just be looking at one individual person and there'll be no one else in the way, so it's easier to see. You'll also be able to pick up common errors, which could indicate why injury is being caused and therefore be able to prevent it in the future. However, technical analysis can be very time consuming due to the fact you have to get the video and then you have to analyse it, which might mean repeating, rewinding and pausing the video numerous of times to get it detailed. However, unlike notational analysis, it can tell you why, not just what and how many. So, for example, layups. Notational analysis could tell you how many and what you're doing, whereas technical analysis can explain as to why you can do it. However, there is high knowledge needed for technical analysis to be able to give a detailed review of the performance.